Hey everybody, Rhoody here, and Season of Discovery is here. This is incredible, right? So my journey started yesterday. I wanted to get on the servers and really just create my characters. I have to say it's been running excellent. The ally went through a few updates with the BIOS and graphical settings. You can see there's a new statistical readout up here, minus the temperature. But if you're ever interested in knowing the temperature, let me know. I haven't had any issues with temperature, so I think this top readout works good. So I waited probably like an hour as we go through here. You can see this mark, but they finally started putting up the servers around this point. So like 5 minutes after well, no, it was, yeah, maybe like 5-6 minutes after. In the beginning, though, you know, they didn't even name them, and then they started naming them. And then finally they started going up, but slowly. And one of my buddies is playing on the normal server, so I tried to get into there first. Minus Crusader Strike. Crusader Strike is probably where I'm going to be doing most of my content, but I'm also starting characters on this casual normal server. Yes, right now it's a little crazy, but right about at the 12 minute marker, I was 3,388 in queue, 38 minutes, just to get into the normal wild growth. Typical Blizzard opening, but today there's no queues, so I just wanted to showcase this in the beginning, in case you guys were wondering what the real struggle was on launch. I'm gonna start on a new character. That way you can see the add-ons, the setup. I know a lot of people have been asking about my frames, etc., UI stuff, all my add-ons. So I'm gonna go through that on Crusader Strike. Look, no queue today. I think people are already tired of it, so that's good. It's good for me because I want to play it. So just your usual bag on. I have Auctionator, console port for all the controller stuff. Easy frames is my UI. So somebody asked about what my portrait frames were. So easy frames right there. Omni CC and Pixel Perfect Align is the other one. So PPA. So remember that PPA, Questy for quests, and then I have the voiceover mod, which still works to my delight and your delight. We get to hear those NPCs deliver the quest vocal dialogue, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing to hear the voice of an NPC. It just makes it a little bit better of a single player experience, which is what I'm at right now. So I'm going to start a new character. I'm going to start my Troll Priest. So this is going to be like a fresh console port install type of deal. We already know all about this, so we're just going to go through it. Alright, so normally this is probably what it would look like if you started console port and you started the season of, you know, Classic WoW in any regard. Right, so if you started Classic WoW in any regard, your UI would look like this. So the first thing I like to do is, I like to change this chat window, because on the ROG Ally you're not really going to be doing a lot of chatting. So as small as possible, but we'll darken it up a little bit for visibility. I like to do that. Maybe not too much, but just enough. And then I like to put it right out of the way here. I think that's a really nice spot for it. It locks in. We're hiding it behind my... Did you guys see it? We're hiding it behind... In this case, it's going to be my camera because I'm using the capture card. But we're just going to slide it back into here. And it just fits in there real nicely. There's actually a little bit of room over here in between the buttons. As you can see where my pointer is. Capturing that today. So I'm also using the wireless Bluetooth Razer Naga. So this is connected to the ROG Ally. I always have links to this if you want to support my Amazon affiliates. It doesn't cost any extra money, and I know it gives me a little benefit, but not to be a peddler, but I'm just saying, if you gotta go to Best Buy, go to Best Buy, get this thing. This is a necessity, pretty much, if you're serious about MMOs on the ROG Ally. It's unbeatable, and it has a ton of utility, so just highly recommended. Okay, enough stalling. So pixel perfect align, that's one of the add-ons. So right here, PPA, next step, PPA. So we'll type \PPA show, and then you get all these nice little grid lines. So then I move my frame here. I'm gonna unlock my player window, and I usually do about, on the ROG Ally, I think it looks good with just like 2 boxes over. Boom, boom, boom. And then we'll do the target window. Unlock this frame. And you can go 2 over. And it puts it right here from midpoint. And it's very good for symmetry. I'm kind of like a little bit picky about UI stuff. I used to not really care, have it all over the place. But now, in my older age, I'm trying to do my UI like a fine wine, because it's actually like a little bit more of the game experience. So let's see how much better that looks. If it was at the top, you have to be glancing at the top, but now you can stay focused on all the action. And we just type PPA, show again. Or is it PPA hide? It's PPA hide. Okay, and then it disappears. Also using, right here, Bluetooth keyboard, highly recommended. The RK Royal Clutch RK61. I'm usually using the controls on the ROG Ally. I'm usually using the joysticks and the buttons, but because I'm recording from my computer today, I'm using this stuff just to make it a little bit easier. But you can do all this stuff with your finger as well. You know, it's a little bit more tedious, but you can definitely do it. I recommend, you don't need a keyboard per se. If it's a big deal, if you're trying to create a mobile setup, then I would say yes, you need a keyboard. But the important thing is, even just any old Bluetooth mouse. It doesn't have to be the Razer Naga or an MMO specific, like 5 buttons on the side, etc. Just get Bluetooth mouse so you can move stuff around. It just makes it so much easier to configure. We're really getting good FPS. Look at this. So I'm using a capture card. So the Ally is pumping through the capture card into the other capture device, then sending it to the computer, then sending it into the streaming software. So this is incredible FPS. What a boost, right? What a boost. This is pretty so smooth. It's actually very nice. We'll have to see what happens when we go in the city, though. Alright, config stuff. Now, in WoW settings, which is going to be over here in console support. So, system, we're going to go and we're going to make sure auto loot's on. This is a big deal. You know, this always gets you on a new character. So, auto key, it's kind of about preference, but this is not preference. I would say this is a necessity for everybody on the Ally. And then over here in combat, this is kind of another important one. Enable action targeting. So this right here, this is going to automatically target stuff that's close to you, that's in your kind of frontal cone. So anything that your character is facing, there's going to be kind of like a cone, similar to boss mechanics. It's just a frontal cone. So it's going to scan NPCs in that area, and it's going to highlight those for easy targeting. So I'll show you how that works in a little bit here, but those two options, these are WoW settings. These are right in WoW settings. Then in console port, we're going to go over here. We're going to go system controls. Now there's been a little bit of changes on the control system, and as far as bindings go and schemes go, I haven't noticed like where the bags are. So that's kind of a little bit of an issue, but I'm going to show you how we can get around that. So now we want to go to the action bar up at the top here. There's this action bar right here. Follow the cursor. You have bindings, interface options, settings, rings, action bar. So we want to go action bar. We want to go always show all buttons and cooldowns numbers, right? I always like to see those. If you have a pet, you can get really customizable. You can kind of just really dig in here and just configure this how you like it. Just take it slow, go option by option. So here we go. Now I'm showing all the buttons. I like to show all the buttons. That gives me an idea of like what can go where, etc., etc. I've been putting my racial ability on this top LT button. So let me do that right now too. And go character, spellbook. So here's my racial. See, this is new. So when you pull something out from your spellbook now, you're given this huge layout, right? So you kind of just place it somewhere in these slots. But I like this, but I think it gets in the way because before you could just kind of place stuff. So I know that maybe you could kind of just place it now, like here, I'll put it on LB. But then I'm going to take it out of LB and I'm going to like put it over in here. This is where I wanted it to go. So it's kind of like invisible. Whereas before you just drag this over to your bars. So, I mean, it's not exactly what I would consider ideal. Kind of have to use like this invisible mind to know where the placing goes, because you see how I just kind of dropped it in there? Because I don't even want that there. I want that on up in this L button. There we go. I got it. I got it. There we go. So you can see now it's on the shift modifier. That's where it's supposed to be. So yeah, so now everything looks good, working as as wanted, working as intended. And then yeah, just kind of change what you want to change. I like to change this. I don't need this mini map button here. So we get that off the mini map, and then we're ready to rock and roll. We're absolutely 100% ready to rock and roll.
Finally, you are of age, adventurer, of age to battle in the name of the Horde, to conquer for the glory.
So you'll be able to hear,
yes,
hear the dialogue.
Nicely.
So this is actually that add-on.
Great dragon or demon and strangle it with your bare hands. But perhaps it would be wise to start on something less dangerous. Report to Garnek. He should be able to assign a task better suited to a young adventurer.
I'll also take my little present.
In the den to the west. Another one of Kaltunk's recruits, A sorry state of affairs we find ourselves in if this is the best the Horde can produce. No matter. By the time we think you're ready
Get
to
the
leave
Diablo
valley,
Stone.
You'll be a proud adventurer of the Horde.
We'll plop it like right there.
To put a little strength in your backbone. I could send you out to the barrens
Summon it.
to hunt Kodo, but well, in all honesty, you're more useful to us alive than dead. I believe you would find a good match.
They did a great job with the voiceovers on this. It's incredible. This is such a great experience. Like you can single player this, listen to the NPC's dialogue throughout all your quests. I mean, it doesn't get any more awesome than that, right? So I'm gonna click the skill here. Now you see how this boar was just automatically targeted. So like, see how that boar was automatically targeted? So now I'm just walking over here. You're just kind of walking over here. So you're just walking in this frontal plane and it's targeting that boar. I'm gonna look over here at the scorpion. It's gonna target it. So it's doing that automatically. I'm not clicking that. So when you're on the controller, it's way, way, way better. Okay, so my 2 button is actually Y, so that helps out. So yeah, just kind of killing things, looting them. It's actually quite incredible how good this game runs. We're out here in the starting zone getting 200 and over 200 FPS. I don't think it gets much better than that. What a great experience on the ROG Ally. I'm sure Steam Deck is also great. I just prefer the Ally. We could even probably juice up our graphics. Let's try that. Let's go into system. Let's go into graphics. Let's go on the highest quality and see what kind of FPS we got. So still pretty good. I would say excellent. I would say absolutely excellent. I would even, I would say this is probably the best handheld experience you're gonna get. Alright, so I just made it to Razor Hill here. FPS is still doing good. We're hanging out in the 90s for a big crowd. We'll get a little bit more. We'll go so 90 FPS around some people. I wonder what org would be. I guess we could check out org. I don't think we have anything to lose. Although I probably should have killed something. I probably should have killed something so I could at least like buy mining and skinning and stuff. I'd say this is a great experience for classic WoW. So yeah, running excellent. As you can see, so running excellent, just absolutely amazing. Sit, lay, anywhere. Yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible how smooth it runs, how good it looks. We don't really have to go like full high quality. I probably won't run this on a normal basis at high quality. I'm gonna keep it like where I normally keep it at 2. just because I just like that smooth operator. Look at the spike now. Look at the spike difference from max to from max settings down to like quality 2. Yeah, it to me on the screen, it's very minute details like shadowing. You can't really, the screen looks so good that even in the low quality setting, it looks fantastic. The colors are bright. It's like a glass portrait, colorful, vibrant. I can't say enough good things about the way this operates, about the way this plays WoW. Highly recommend. My only ever complaint, and I think it's good to be very critical, my complaint is like the buttons. I've been using these buttons a lot. Trust me, I've been pounding on these. And I would have to say like I'm concerned about the future of the joysticks, but for the most part the joysticks still work. They're a little bit spongy. They're getting a little bit spongy. And of course, since I have an early model, my SD card slot is completely shot. I'm gonna have to get a replacement unit. I'll probably do a whole video on getting a replacement unit. That sounds like an interesting topic. Is like, let's see what happens getting a new one if it's any different. But at sometime in the future, I'll go to Best Buy and handle it. I would say I am a WoW world. No, I would say I'm a World of Warcraft portable gaming console port specialist. I'm not messing around with any other games. I played Call of Duty for a little stint, but mainly just the launch day, and then I haven't played it. I'm going to be playing WoW for the inherently near future, and onward and upward and sideways and backwards. So there it is. We're going to be running this thing ragged. We're going to be pushing it to the envelope. That's what we can do. And as usual, any questions, I'm glad to help. Put them in the comments below. Please like, follow, subscribe. You know the whole deal. Try to keep doing the double streams, Twitch and YouTube, etc., etc. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the beginning. Get ready to discover. Get ready to discover. And discover anywhere. With the ROG Ally, you can discover things anywhere in this new World of Warcraft season. So I hope you enjoyed. This is your pal Rhoody saying, remember to look good, feel good, perform well. I definitely need to take my own advice today and and start looking a lot better. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time.